Every single day, people come into my practice absolutely certain they are doing everything right. They walk consistently, 30 minutes, sometimes longer, and yet they arrive with knee pain, persistent fatigue, numbness running down their legs, and this creeping sense that their body is getting worse rather than better. The very first question I ask is always the same. Tell me exactly how you walk. And that is where everything becomes clear. Because the problem almost never comes down to walking too little. The problem is that they are walking incorrectly. And walking incorrectly is not simply wasted effort. It actively destroys your joints, deteriorates your posture, overburdens your cardiovascular system, and drives chronic inflammation deep into your tissues year after year after year. I have watched this exact pattern play out hundreds of times in my clinic. People genuinely trying to do the right thing, doing it in the wrong way, and paying a physical price they cannot explain. My name is DR.Michonne, and this channel exists to bring you the most current, evidence-based research on senior health in a way that is genuinely practical and immediately usable. If you have not yet subscribed, I would love for you to do that right now, so you never miss what we are working through together. Today, I am taking you through 6 of the most common and most destructive walking mistakes people make after the age of 60. For each one, I will explain the precise biological mechanism by which it is harming your body, and exactly what needs to change. This is the kind of information that simply does not come up at your next routine checkup. And it all begins with understanding why walking after 60 is an entirely different physical experience than walking at 40. After 60, your body brings 3 significant changes to every single walk that simply were not present 2 decades ago. First, the cartilage in your knee and hip joints has thinned with age. The natural cushioning between your bones has diminished. Poor walking mechanics that your joints could absorb at 40 now produce direct, repeated, bone-on-bone impact that accelerates joint degeneration with every step. Second, muscle mass has decreased through a natural, age-related process called sarcopenia. The muscles that stabilize your pelvis, your spine, and your ankles are no longer as powerful as they once were. Incorrect walking form shifts the load onto joints and connective tissue that your muscles should be bearing. Third, your nervous system's capacity to sense position and respond to balance challenges has slowed. This makes poor gait mechanics not just physically damaging, but considerably more dangerous from a falls perspective, which remains the leading cause of serious injury in adults over 65. Walking is medicine when done correctly. Walking is slow, steady harm when done wrong. Here are the 6 mistakes to stop making today. Mistake number 1. Walking with your head dropped forward and your shoulders curved in. This is the single most common postural error I see, and it creates damage that most people never connect to the neck pain, shoulder tension, or back discomfort they experience week after week. Your head weighs approximately 10 to 12 pounds when it sits in proper neutral alignment. For every inch it drifts forward from that position, the effective load placed on your cervical spine essentially doubles. At just 2 inches forward, your neck is carrying 20 to 24 pounds with every single step you take. Over the course of a 30-minute walk, that translates into thousands of repetitions of excessive load pressing down on the cervical discs and facet joints. The rounded shoulders that accompany this forward head position close off the rib cage, reduce the depth of each breath, and increase the cardiovascular demand of the walk for the exact same physical output. People finish their walks feeling more exhausted than they should, and they never understand why. The correction is straightforward. Before each walk begins, stand fully upright. Your ears should sit directly above your shoulders. Your chin should be parallel to the ground. Your chest should be open and lifted. Then check your posture every 5 minutes throughout the walk, because the forward drift happens gradually and almost entirely without your awareness. Mistake number 2, overstriding. Overstriding means placing your heel far ahead of your body with your leg nearly fully extended on impact. When that heel strikes the ground in an extended forward position, the knee absorbs a significant braking force with each step. This dramatically increases knee joint loading, places strain on the patellar tendon, and over time contributes directly to cartilage wear and persistent knee inflammation. Research published in 2024 confirmed that a shorter stride pattern significantly reduces the knee forces most closely associated with joint damage during walking. Walking efficiency is generated by step frequency, not step length. A shorter, slightly quicker step with your foot landing beneath your hip produces considerably less joint impact while delivering the exact same cardiovascular benefit. The correction: shorten your stride and focus on landing your foot directly beneath your hip rather than far out in front of you. A modest increase in step cadence with a shorter landing distance reduces joint load immediately and measurably. Mistake number 3: beginning your walk without any preparation or warm-up. The majority of people over 60 step outside and immediately launch into their full walking pace. No transition, no preparation, just rest to full effort in a matter of seconds. When you begin walking at full intensity from a completely cold start, your blood vessels have not yet dilated to meet the increased circulatory demand. Your heart has not gradually elevated its output. Your muscles are not yet receiving adequate oxygen for the work being asked of them. The result is an abrupt and significant spike in cardiac demand from a resting baseline, precisely when the heart is least prepared for it. Research consistently identifies the first 3 to 5 minutes of exertion following rest as the period of highest cardiovascular stress during physical activity. Cardiac events in older adults cluster disproportionately at the very beginning of exercise. This is not a minor statistical footnote. It is a pattern that repeats itself with alarming regularity. The correction: begin every single walk at approximately half your normal pace for 2 to 3 full minutes before gradually increasing to your regular speed. This controlled ramp-up allows blood vessels to dilate progressively, heart rate to rise in an orderly way, and muscles to receive sufficient oxygen before demand reaches its peak. It costs 3 minutes. The protection it provides can be significant. If you have stayed with me this far, it tells me something important about you. You are genuinely invested in your health, not just casually scrolling. But I have noticed that most viewers absorb the content and move on without subscribing. If this channel is genuinely giving you something valuable, tap subscribe right now. It takes 1 second. If you do not, there is a very good chance you will lose track of this channel entirely and miss everything we cover going forward. I want to take a moment here because what I am about to share connects directly to everything we are walking through today. Over my years in clinical practice, I have seen one simple thing make a consistent and meaningful difference for people over 60. It is not about anything extreme or complicated. It is about doing the right, small things every single day with intention. That is exactly why I created a resource called the 30-Day Blood Pressure Reset for Seniors. A straightforward, step-by-step plan designed to support healthy blood pressure through gentle daily routines, light movement, and clear guidance you can follow at home without confusion. The connection to walking is direct. Consistent, correctly performed walking is one of the most powerful tools available for blood pressure management. But walking performed with the mistakes I am describing today can actually elevate chronic inflammatory markers and increase cardiovascular stress rather than reducing it. Doing the right movement in the right way is exactly what this guide is built around. I am only opening this to 30 people right now because I want to follow each person closely and see how they progress. If your current routine is not giving you the clarity and confidence you need, click the link in the description or scan the QR code before those spots are taken. And because you are part of this community, I have applied a 70% discount to make it as accessible as possible. After completing your purchase, please share your email so I can follow up with you personally. Now let us continue. Mistake number 4: walking in the wrong footwear. This particular mistake causes more cumulative damage than almost any other on this list, precisely because it accumulates quietly over months before any pain is felt. After 60, the fat padding on the sole of the foot naturally thins, removing the body's built-in cushioning. Arch support becomes increasingly critical as the tendons and ligaments that maintain the arch gradually lose their elasticity. And your sense of balance depends more and more on sensory feedback transmitted through the soles of your feet, meaning that overly cushioned or unstable footwear that reduces ground contact sensation directly increases your risk of falling. Flat shoes without proper arch support allow the arch to collapse with every step, creating strain along the plantar fascia and ankle tendons. Old shoes with compressed cushioning transmit impact forces directly to the knees and hips with nothing to absorb the blow. Both of these patterns accelerate joint damage quietly and continuously. Your walking shoes should have a moderate heel rise of 8 to 12 millimeters, firm and reliable arch support, adequate cushioning at both the forefoot and heel, and a secure fit around the ankle. Replace them every 12 to 18 months regardless of how they appear on the outside, because the internal cushioning compresses and fails long before the shoe shows any visible signs of wear. Mistake number 5. Walking at a consistently slow, unchanging pace every single day. The research on this point is unambiguous and worth stating plainly. Walking speed after 60 is one of the single strongest predictors of cardiovascular health, cognitive function, and all-cause mortality available to clinicians. A major meta-analysis found that the risk of all-cause mortality is elevated by 89% in older adults with the lowest preferred walking speeds. Geriatricians now describe walking speed as the 6th vital sign, as clinically meaningful as blood pressure or resting heart rate. Walking at a comfortable, flat, very slow pace every day does not adequately challenge the cardiovascular system. It does not produce the arterial blood flow improvements that protect against hypertension. And it does not deliver the anti-inflammatory signaling that makes walking genuinely and deeply therapeutic for the aging body. The solution is intentional pace variation. Within every 5-minute block of your walk, spend 60 to 90 seconds moving at a pace where conversation becomes noticeably more difficult, where you feel the effort clearly. Then return to your comfortable baseline. Repeated several times across a 30-minute walk, this approach produces significantly greater cardiovascular and anti-inflammatory benefit than walking at a flat, slow pace for the same total duration. Mistake number 6. Stopping your walk too abruptly without cooling down. Most people finish their walk and immediately sit down, stop moving entirely, and consider the exercise complete. For people over 65, this abrupt transition carries real physiological risk that most are never warned about. During sustained walking, the blood vessels throughout your legs have dilated significantly to deliver oxygen-rich blood to your working muscles. When you stop suddenly, that blood does not immediately redistribute back toward the heart. Cardiac output drops sharply. Blood pressure at the level of the brain falls. This is the direct physiological explanation for why so many older adults feel dizzy or lightheaded in the moments immediately after stopping exercise. It is called post-exercise hypotension, and it is a predictable consequence of stopping movement too quickly. The correction? Reduce your pace gradually over the final 2 to 3 minutes of every walk, slowing progressively until you are moving at a very gentle stroll before stopping entirely. This measured deceleration allows blood pressure to adjust smoothly and gives the heart the opportunity to reduce its output in an orderly, controlled way. It follows the exact same principle as the warm-up at the beginning, just working in the opposite direction, and it is equally important. 6 mistakes, 6 corrections, every one of them free, every one of them startable on your very next walk. Walking with your head forward and shoulders rounded damages the cervical spine and reduces breathing efficiency with every step. Overstriding loads the knee joints with braking force that gradually erodes cartilage over time. Skipping the warm-up creates a sudden cardiovascular demand at the moment of highest risk. Wearing the wrong footwear silently transfers impact to joints already working with reduced natural cushioning. Walking at a constant slow pace fails to deliver the cardiovascular and anti-inflammatory benefits that make walking genuinely protective, and stopping too abruptly drops blood pressure and sets up the dizziness that leads to dangerous falls. Choose one mistake right now, the one you recognize most clearly in yourself, and change it on your very next walk. Just one. One correction applied consistently produces real, measurable results over time. Tell me in the comments, which of these 6 mistakes are you currently making? I read every single comment, and your responses genuinely shape what I cover next on this channel. Before you go, I want to leave you with something worth sitting with for a moment. Most people spend years waiting for the perfect moment to take their health seriously. The right week, the right circumstances, the right level of motivation. And that moment almost never arrives on its own. Life fills the space. The urgency fades, and another year passes with the same habits producing the same results. That is exactly why I built the 30-day blood pressure reset for seniors. It is not a complicated program. It is not asking you to overhaul your life or commit to something overwhelming. It is a simple, clearly structured daily routine designed to support healthy blood pressure through gentle movement, daily habits, and a step-by-step plan you can follow with complete confidence from day one. I have watched people in my care feel genuinely more in control of their health, more confident in their numbers, more consistent in their routines, simply by having something structured and clear to follow. Something that tells them exactly what to do each day without confusion or guesswork. Right now, I am keeping access limited to just 30 people because I want to be able to observe each person closely and follow their progress meaningfully. Once those 30 spots are filled, I will close access. If you feel ready to start something simple and structured, click the link in the description or scan the QR code on your screen right now. And because you are part of this community, I have added a 70% discount so that cost is never a barrier to getting started. After completing your purchase, please share your email so I can follow up with you personally and help you stay consistent day by day. One final thought before I let you go. The 6 mistakes we cover today are not rare or unusual. They are happening on thousands of walks right now, in neighborhoods everywhere, by people who genuinely believe they are taking care of themselves. The difference between walking that heals and walking that harms is not the intention behind it. It is the mechanics. And now you have the information to change yours. Walking with your head properly aligned protects your cervical spine and opens your breathing on every single step. Landing your foot beneath your hip rather than extended in front removes the braking force that silently degrades your knee cartilage. Starting slowly and building pace over the first 2 to 3 minutes protects your heart at the moment it is most vulnerable. Wearing supportive, well-maintained footwear gives your joints the cushioning and your balance system the ground feedback it depends on. Varying your pace within each walk delivers the cardiovascular and anti-inflammatory signals that make walking genuinely therapeutic rather than merely symbolic. And cooling down gradually at the end of every walk keeps your blood pressure stable and prevents the dizziness that sends older adults to the floor. 6 corrections, all of them free. All of them startable today, all of them adding up, quietly, consistently, cumulatively, into a body that moves better, hurts less, and ages more slowly. Everything shared in this video reflects general educational content, drawn from published research in biomechanics, geriatric exercise science, and cardiovascular medicine. It is not personal medical advice tailored to your individual situation. If you experience joint pain, chest discomfort, shortness of breath, or dizziness during or after your walks, please speak with your doctor before continuing. This information is here to support and inform your health conversations, not to replace the guidance of a qualified medical professional. This is DR.Michonne. Take care of your body, walk with intention, and I will see you in the next one.